Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently I went to see The Great Gatsby, and having read the book, I thought that the book and the movie were excellent parallels, and it matched my vision of what I thought would comprise Jay Gatsby's world, and it matched everything in the book absolutely flawlessly. I felt. Of course, there are a lot of people say, "Well, all three versions of the film stunk." I don't think so, because I like how this particular movie had a lot of modern elements in it, yet it was all very reminiscent of the 1920s, and a lot of people say that it's autobiographical about Fitzgerald's life, and I have to agree with that. A lot of authors tend to do that. Hold on a minute. I'm going to tell my friend I'm doing a review. He's just a little bit eager to see me. Sorry about that. I'm sorry for the interruption, but anyway, 2 thumbs up. 5 stars, hands down. The visual effects, the costumes, the storyline. It's a dark film. Now, don't get me wrong. It's like you would think it would be. It's Fitzgerald, for gosh sakes. I noticed that there was M theory mentioned, and before I wouldn't have even noticed, but when he said I was within and I was also without, and I felt, when Nick said that, I thought, he's talking about infinite possibilities and infinite probabilities as well. He's got duality between the affluence in Gatsby's versus his normal middle class life, or the life that he once knew when he was working on the streets trying to scrape by for a living. And then you get to see Gatsby's duality, and then you see the symbol. There's a lot of symbolism within the names of the characters, like you have Myrtle and Daisy, and then the green light. It's allegorical. There's quite a bit of that allegory and metaphor and symbolism that's occurring within the story, and a lot of people don't like to think. So I think that's probably why a lot of people just don't care for this tale, and the fact that it's also dark and depressing and gritty. I liked it though. I thought it was a very good example of the debauchery of the time and the loose morals of the 20s. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory, and it was that way at the time. And I think that a lot of people like to say, well, the 60s were our sexual revolution. I tend to disagree. I like to think that the 1920s were opening the doors, and that was the true sexual revolution that we had, as we started getting things like 19th Amendment and all that, and suffragettes, and, well, actually the suffragettes were just a little bit before, but anyhow, I'm going off on a history track here, but it really is just a splendiferous film, though it's dark and it's in essence, and I have to say that it really is a sensational film that can be enjoyed for the essence of it. Leonardo DiCaprio, he is positively spellbinding in this movie. I think he couldn't have picked a better role. I thought that the actor who played Nick, or Nicky as they call him, he was perfect as well. All of the actors and actresses, they were sensational, and I just love this movie. I just think it's a perfect uh, movie to film adaptation. And if anything, I think this film will get an Oscar for either cinematography. There were a lot of different shots that I thought, how did they pull that off? And it was just unreal how well these shots were done. Especially, they had a telescopic shot when Tom and Daisy were talking to each other in his coupe. And I thought, they used to do that. They called it the voyeur shot for obvious reason, or keyhole. I like to call it a keyhole because voyeur just sounds too scandalous. And they had a lot of POVs from up top, and then they would do a climb down shot, and I thought, whoa! I mean, it was a flawless climb down shot, and then you would see Nikki just kind of passing by New York on the streets in Times Square. And it just, I thought it was art, and I just think it really is the best film I've seen so well, except Iron Man 3. I love Iron Man 3 because it's just, another celebration of what can be done with special effects and costumes and music. Music was just absolutely um, outstanding in this film. I absolutely adored it. Of course, some of the stuff I didn't really care for because it was, kind of rapish, and I'm not really. I like old school rap. Yeah, but a lot of that 20s styles, swing-esque, big band, foxtrot, all that stuff, jitterbug, Charleston. They did the Charleston in many of Gatsby's parties, and they did it really well. The choreographers had their work cut out for them. I would have hated to be on the set on this one too, because of just how elaborate and elegant and meticulously made these costumes were. This is art. It truly is, and either you love art or you hate it. And I think that's what this is really about, as well as duality and the classes, the new rich, as they were called in the film. You've got West Egg and East Egg, and other different kind of affluence in those communities in Long Island. Um, and it's just really intriguing and interesting, and it shows that social stigma, and then the poor, the very poor, the dirt poor, and then the whole irony, which I won't say what it is, but if you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. I thought that it was absolutely perfect. I just think that it is truly a marvel and a work of pure intellect and inspired. It's intelligent, and it's also very imaginative. And when Daisy was talking about perfect his perfect um, incredible imagination, I thought, precisely. That was probably reserved for the director, not for you. uh, but it really is just um, a tremendous movie. If you've read the book, I highly recommend it. If you don't really care for movies such as this, and if you don't want to see something dark, then I wouldn't recommend seeing Great Gatsby. But it really is a spectacle to be seen and beheld on the silver screen, and especially Letterbox. I saw it on Letterbox, and it really, for me, it was an experience. So I'm happy to say that I was able to enjoy it in its entirety, and I also got the soundtrack. So it's actually music inspired by Gatsby. So I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. So until I see you again with my next review, ciao.